recent increase to national insurance and the minimum wage will have a seismic impact on the industry, and that many nurseries will be forced to pass on those costs to parents. Today, though, there was some good news for the sector as the Welsh Government announced day nurseries will be permanently exempt from paying business rates. Our Consumer Affairs reporter Kate Lewis has more.
Finding suitable, affordable childcare can be a bumpy ride for many parents.
I'm due to go back to work in May. I'm unable to go back full time because I won't be able to afford it at all.
We know she's starting nurseries, so she does have some help there. But up until then, they would rely on the grandparents then for childcare.
But it would be nice to have more help. I think a lot of parents are wishing time away until they get to 3, and then they get that 30 hours then, which is quite sad.
It's not just parents but nursery themselves who say they're struggling to keep up with rising costs. The recent increase in employer national insurance contribution as well as living and minimum wage is set to hit this industry hard.
It's absolutely seismic. It's put on our running costs, and we're what we would call or class as a relatively small nursery. But our running costs just on those two elements alone are going to be £20,000 up next year with no change to our business. And the only way we can deal and cope and absorb that is by passing on increased rates to parents.
On a visit to a nursery in Cardiff today, the Minister for Children and Social Care not only delivering a parcel, but news that business rates for registered childcare premises will be permanently cut. So one less bill to balance.
It lifts the dread of the coming decisions about that every 3 years. So it's a real relief for us. It means we can continue to do what we've been doing, reinvest in our team primarily, to deliver the childcare to our families.
Without business rate relief, consequences could have been catastrophic. In a recent survey, 43% of nurseries here in Wales said that had business rates been reinstated, they would have been forced to close. Meanwhile, even before today's welcomed announcement, 91% of childcare settings here said that they are expected to make a loss or simply break even this year. The Welsh Government currently has 2 funded childcare schemes. These have remained the same for the last 3 years, so haven't kept in line with inflation.
What they need is for funding rates to rise at the same rate as all those other costs. So, we've got some minimum wage rates rising at 16%. So what we can't see is funding rates with just a few percent increases. They really need them to take account of all of the costs of operating a nursery like this.
Something I put to the Minister.
We already spend more than £100 million a year on developing our childcare offers in Wales.
But these settings are saying that it's not enough.
And it's, we all live in very difficult times, don't we? And we have to prioritise our funding. And what we're going to do, and what we will do, what we continue to do, is to have those conversations with the sector about what more we can do. We're expanding, for instance, our Flying Start provision. We're looking to have a universal Flying Start offer in the years ahead.
Music to the ears of some, I'm sure. But as childcare settings navigate the financial challenges they face, it looks like a sticky few months ahead.
Kate joins me now. Lots of pressure on parents in terms of costs, and lots of people will be watching this worried about seeing a hike on nursery fees.
Yes, Andrea, and this comes at a time where we know that people are saying they don't have spare pennies in their pockets. So to hear that childcare settings are going to be, what they say, forced to on-pass their rising rates onto these parents is going to be incredibly worrying, I'm sure. Now, as you heard briefly in my report there, the Welsh Government does have 2 childcare offerings in place. The first is the Flying Start scheme, and if eligible, that is for 2-year-olds. It also has the childcare offer for Wales, and this is 30 hours of funded childcare for 3 and 4-year-olds. But it's this funding where the issue is coming, and which the nursery owners are really trying to bring to the fore for the Welsh Government. They are saying that this £5 an hour rate has been in place since, well, for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, and so it hasn't kept in line with inflation. Now, these nurseries do not benefit directly from that money. This goes to parents, but if parents don't get it, they're not likely to continue to send their children to these settings. So they really want to see that rate going up, something the Minister today has said will not answer any questions on until after the budget. So, you know, we know, don't we, that parents are fundamental to a successful workforce, and a successful workforce is key to the Welsh economy.
An issue that's not going away anytime soon. Kate, thank you.